All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Those of you that have been following along with our trucking adventure video know that Talon and I decided to start our own trucking business. We have no experience in the industry, so we decided to become owner-operators with zero experience, and we wanted to document our trials and tribulations along the way so that maybe others can learn from it. So in the past, we did our orientation with the Beltman Group after I finished my training, and we became contractors with Beltman Relocation Group, which is a contractor for North American van lines. In February, we took our very first trip, and we finally got all the pay stubs for the trip. So we wanted to share with you how much money we actually made doing the run that we did. So here's the actual pay statements, and I'll put a picture of this so you can view it a little bit better. They actually get pretty complicated. There's a lot of things that get added in and taken out, so on and so forth. But you can see here where the circle is on the picture, the total line haul year to date was $9,401.21. Now we've only taken one trip, so that's the total money for that entire trip. To do that trip, we had to rent U-Hauls to shuttle things around. We had to hire helpers to load the truck. We had to put fuel in this truck. There was a lot of things there, so we wanted to go ahead and show those deductions of what it actually costs to do the trip. So our total labor, what we call lumpers, we hire people to help us load the truck, sometimes unload the truck. We don't always need them. Sometimes we need one, sometimes we need four. It all really depends. But on that trip, we spent a total of $990 on lumpers to help load. And we had shuttle rentals. We had to rent U-Haul trucks 4 times on that trip, weren't able to get the big truck into where we needed to go, so we spent $278.92 on the shuttle rentals. Scale tickets, $26. We get paid by weight, so when we load something, we have to know what the truck weighed without the load and what the truck weighed with the load. So we have a lightweight and a heavyweight, so we spent $26 on scale tickets. The U-Haul trucks, we have to put fuel in them for whatever we use, so we use $40.07 of gasoline in the trucks. Now, fuel for the big truck, we spent $1,312.80. And then packing material, $356.16. Now, we bought way more packing material than we needed, but some things are only bought in bundles, and we only needed 2 or 3 of something, but they come in bundles of 15 or 20. So we got some extra there, so we didn't really use all of that, but it's still money that we spent to go do the trip. DEF fluid for the truck, $22.88. Then we had $13.50 in tolls. Now, that's what came out of our pocket to do the trip. Additional fees is obviously there's insurance on the truck, and when you're with Beltman, and you'll see it on that first sheet, if you want to pause, you can look over those different things there. You'll see that there are deductions that come from Beltman out of our settlement before we ever even get paid. You'll see where it says repair fund and reserve fund. Those are what ifs. So every week, $48 comes out for a repair fund. Every week, $70 comes out for our reserve fund. We've also got a plate charge in there because this is the first truck we've contracted. It costs about $1,500 a year to have a license plate on a commercial truck. So every week, we've got $135.24 taking out for the plate fee. Now, that's only going to happen for the first 12 weeks. After that, we get a reprieve until the next year starts, and then we get $135 per week again for the first 12 weeks of the next season. But then you get the fleet insurance, which was $88.15, which is actually pretty cheap. Now that's per week. Unfortunately, starting next week, that's going to go up to $129 per week. So, and that's why you'll see in that first settlement where this first circle is, that's our total money coming in. And then the ending balance, the $66,541.37, that shows what Beltman deducted in that time period. Now, this is a little misleading because we have been contracted with Beltman for almost 8 weeks now, but we only ran one trip. So every week, some of those deductions are coming out, which, yes, is costing us money while this truck has been parked, but we had to go to Daytona. The timing was just terrible. So don't use that number, even though it's not that far off. The other numbers I just listed to you with the labor and lumpers, fees, and the fuel, we spent a total, including the insurance for the trip that we were out on, not the insurance for the whole 2 months, just for that 10-day period that we were out loading and unloading. We spent a total of $3,452.63. So if you subtract that from that original number of $9,401.21, the gross profit from that trip was $5,948.58. I don't think that's too bad for first-time owner-operators. It was one trip. See, we loaded on the 16th of February. We were unloaded and back home by the 26th of February. So we were only out 10 days. So 10 days. Now, Tal and I did not pay ourselves out of this yet. So this is gross, what the truck made. Other deductions and other company fees are going to have to come out of that. Now, there is other money that we spent along the way, too. Because it was our first trip, we invested in really good movers, dollies, some other equipment that we're going to need, the hump straps, stuff that is our responsibility. As you guys know, Beltman supplies the trailer, all the pads and rubber bands inside. Beltman Supply, we did not have to pay for that. But our hand trucks, our personal tools, like I bought, a drill gun, an impact gun, some hand tools, like this is some of the furniture, all that came out of our pocket. We own that. If we turn this truck in, we take that stuff with us. So that is not deducted out of this because that's a one-time cost for the startup of the business. So that's not reflected here, but there was more money spent than that $3,452. However, when you actually do the math on it and you take away what we actually spent for our startup as well on that material and those accessories, we still made $3,000 to $4,000 even once all that's taken out of. So if we eat that cost out of the first trip, which leaves more profit on all the following trips. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're actually just getting ready to jump on the truck. We have our second load. We load tomorrow in Winston-Salem. We pick up another load on Thursday, the toot again in Jasper, Georgia, which is only about an hour and a half south of where we live. Then that first load from Winston-Salem we have to take out to St. Louis, Missouri, and the job from Jasper is going to go delivered to Ames, Iowa. So we'll keep you guys posted on that trip along the way. But I thought this first trip was a good time to break the money down because there's no confusion on what money came from what trip. This was all from that one trip. So it was actually 3 jobs. We picked up the one in Greensboro, Georgia, picked up another one in Roswell, Georgia, delivered the first one to Monroe, Louisiana, and delivered the second one in Grapevine, Texas. And then right when we unloaded, dispatch called us. We got a reload that picked up in Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Lawton, Oklahoma, and then we drove it back over to Raleigh, North Carolina. So it gave us a round trip. So that was from all 3 of those jobs included in that 9,400 whatever. So anyways, now you guys can see what kind of money you can make in the moving industry. Our average mile rate on that trip was like over $7 a mile. Yes, it's good money per mile, but you got to figure we have to load and unload. So it's not just driving miles that we get paid for. We've got a full day at the customer's house loading. We got a full day at the customer's delivery point unloading as well. And it's a lot of labor that we put in. Yes, we do hire help, but we still physically load the truck. A lot of people forget about that when they look at what kind of money you can make in the moving industry. Household goods pays good, but it's a lot of work. All right, guys, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share if you think the video was worth it. And until the next time we see it, keep those engines running. Hopefully we don't hit no more deers. Yeah, no more deer.